Welcome to the feast, I unleash, I'm a motherfucking beast.
What's up guys? So quick grocery haul, just got back from the store, stocked up for week 4 with stuff that I was running out of. 3 things of egg whites because they don't expire for a while, so I just keep them in the fridge so I don't have to pick them up often. I got oats, quick 1 minute because I'm lazy. 2 things of strawberries because strawberries are bae. 2 things of Brussels sprouts because I already ran out. Liquid smoke, this is so key when you're dieting. Cook your vegetables in this when you make vegetables in the pan. It's like 0 calories and it's literally just like seasoning. But guys, this stuff is so good. So if you can find this at your local grocery store, definitely check it out. Got 2 things of gum. This is the best flavor of gum that ever existed. This is asparagus because more bad smelling pea, you know me. 2 more things of zucchini, 1 more thing of mushrooms because I ran out of those really fast because like I said, you can have a huge serving for like not that many carbs or calories at all and lots of fiber. So I ran through those in like 3 days, so I just got more of that. And that's it. Grocery haul. What's up you guys? Welcome to week 4, day 24, push day of the 30-day Kickstart video trainer program. So today I worked out with my client and friend Melanie. Today we were at the shop gym, so I'm going to be doing this voiceover to explain all the exercises to you guys for this video. This push day is actually structured backwards. So what that means is that we're starting with rear delts, moving on to lateral delts, and then ending with front delts with chest sprinkled in between there. This is primarily a chest and shoulder focused day. This is because we have an arm day coming up in 3 days. So we're laying off the triceps a little bit and just pushing on the chest and shoulder focus. So today we started off with a bent over dumbbell rear delt fly, superset with a cable rope face pull. So for the bent over dumbbell rear delt fly, I've shown you guys these before, but basically you're bending over at the waist, keeping the back straight and leading up with the elbows, driving the elbows up behind you and really squeezing that area right up behind your armpit on the back of your shoulder hard at the top and focusing on controlling the way down, letting that area stretch. And then supersetting that with the cable rope face pull. I typically like to do these seated, not standing. However, there was no option to like adjust the cable at this gym. So we did them standing, which is no big deal. You just have to go a little bit lighter because then you can get more stability from your stance that way. With the face pull, you really want to make sure you're getting your elbows not only back, but up by your ears. So don't just think about pulling the rope back. Think about getting your elbows in line with your wrists at the top of every pull so that you're really only using your rear delts. If you're pulling back like a seated row and your elbows are coming down below the shoulder, then you're gonna be feeling a lot of this in your lats and your traps, but you can isolate the rear delts by keeping the elbows high, and that's what I'm telling Melanie in this video here, is to keep her elbows high to focus more on the rear delt and isolating that area. So let me know if you try that and you feel a difference between a face pull with your elbows below the shoulder versus your elbows above the shoulder. I promise it will give you such better mind-muscle connection in your rear delts. Next up, we moved on to a pec deck rear delt fly with the drop set on the last set. So I've shown you guys this exercise a billion times before, so I'm just going to let this play, and then on the drop set, just make sure you're pushing till actual failure. And like I've shown in these past couple workouts, guys, failure can mean going till failure and then giving yourself a second and then trying again and seeing if you can get a couple more reps out, because at the end of the day, a drop set is meant to just burn out the muscle. You want to keep the constant tension for as long as you possibly can, but once you fail, you can keep going if you want. You can start up again. It's a drop set. You're just meant to just burn out that muscle. And another thing that I want to touch on just while these clips are playing is if you're hitting a set of a certain number of reps, guys, Make sure you're using a weight that you can do all the reps without stopping in between. It does not count as a full set if you're doing, let's say, a set of 15 and you get 8 and then you have to stop and then you do 7 more. It's a set of 15 if you do 15 the whole way through, and it's most likely too heavy if you have to stop halfway through. So just make sure you're being honest with yourself and doing sets fully and not stopping halfway through, because I have run into that a few times with clients and just people at the gym thinking that they're completing full sets when really they're not, and it kind of confuses the whole like logging the workouts thing when I'm coaching personally for one-on-one clients. But anyways, just wanted to clear that up. Next up, we moved on to a pec deck chest fly with a drop set every set. This, guys, was so freaking killer. We basically did forced reps on the drop set every single time. So what I did is I would push the handles together for the top half of the movement once the person would get stuck when they have failed. And what we were also doing is we were leaning forward and not necessarily letting our back stay strict on the bench. This is butchering form, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect form, but we were using some body language to get some extra reps out, and there's a time and a place to do that. And the time and place is when you've already done a bunch of reps, your chest is already the fully active muscle in the movement or whatever movement you're doing. If your muscle is already fully activated, like burning like crazy, already screaming at you, then that's when it's okay to implement a little bit of body language, because then you're not gonna risk recruiting other muscles or risk injury per se, because you're already using the muscle that you want to use. If you're butchering your form to the point where it is putting you at risk for injury, you can scratch what I said, you're at risk for injury. But there is a time and a place to use a little bit of wiggle room with momentum, body language, swing, all that, and this was definitely a time that we did that. For the forced reps and the drop sets on the chest fly, we were getting the most insane pump in our chest, and it was so painful, and we probably did 10 more reps than our bodies wanted us to, but it felt so good. So if you have a partner, definitely do these forced reps with the pec deck chest fly. It's a really easy way to assist one another because it is a machine-based exercise, and make sure you're pushing till absolute failure on the drop set every set. Next up, we went on to a standing cable upright row, sets of 12. So with the cable upright row, same thing as the face pull, you want to think about getting the elbows high. And not only getting the elbows high, but getting them back. So you want to pull your elbows up and then back in line with your ears. And so that's kind of what I told Melanie to do. So her first set was actually, her elbows were in front of her, and then her second set she was pulling her elbows up back towards her ears. And I asked her if she felt it more in the lateral and rear delt, and she said she did. So that is one cue that I think could help a lot of you guys, is not only pulling your elbows up but back. And with these cable upright rows, we were kind of employing a slight backward lean so that when we pulled, our bodies were in line with the line of the cable, so we were actually like pulling straight up with the line of the cable. And it was a really great movement. You want to feel these in the side and the back of your delts, a little bit in your traps, but if you're leading with your elbows, you're going to feel it mostly in your delts. Next up, we moved on to a standing dumbbell lateral raise with a drop set every set, superset with a plate front raise with a drop set every set. Melanie and Paul hated me after this because it's basically 4 exercises back to back to back to back, so it's like a giant set. So you're doing dumbbell lateral raises, 12 reps, and then dropping the weight, going to failure with lower weight, so we just did 10s and 5s, and then going right into a heavy front raise with a plate, 10 to 12 reps, and then dropping the weight down and going until failure with a lighter plate, so a 10-pound plate. This was so killer. I love doing stuff like this where it's just you don't have time to breathe. Your cardiovascular system is actually working just as hard as your muscles in a giant set like this. And basically a giant set is 3 or more exercises paired back to back to back to back. So that's what this basically was, because we had a drop set on every set, and it was absolutely killer. My shoulders were on fire, as you can see with my faces in these clips. Guys, my workout face, my pain face, it's not cute, not pretty, and that is totally okay. You should not have a pretty looking face when you work out. If you do, then you're definitely doing something wrong. because it should be so painful that you're like grimacing if you're getting in those 7.5 to 9.5, even 10 RPE ranges. So try this superset out. Hate me during, love me after. Your shoulders are going to scream and it's going to be amazing. Lastly, we moved on to the final movement, which makes this workout basically the backwards push day because we're ending with a compound movement. So we ended with an incline dumbbell chest press with an AMRAP on the last set. So with the incline, we just kept it at the lowest possible incline because for your chest, basically the more flat the bench is, the more chest you're going to use, and the more inclined the bench is or perpendicular to the ground, the more shoulder you're going to use, because basically whatever is facing the ceiling is going to be doing the most work against gravity. So we wanted to keep it mostly chest focused because there wasn't much chest in this workout, and an incline dumbbell chest press is a compound movement that incorporates both the front delt and the chest pretty much equally. So we were doing these for sets of 10, and with an AMRAP on the final set, guys, if you have a spotter, have them help you push your elbows when you fail so that you can get a couple more reps out on that final set. So the AMRAP on the last set, guys, instead of 10 reps like it's written, if you have more than 10, keep pushing. And I promise you, when you feel like you're actually done, when you feel like you've actually failed, if your arms literally aren't failing and giving out on you, you probably have more in you. So push your mental strength, see how many more you can really get with your arms like shaking, trembling, like you're going up as slow as humanly possible because you're just pushing and the weight is moving so slow. That's how you know you're actually close to failure. That's how you know you're actually at a 10 RPE. So try to get to that point, guys. We are on the last week. That was the last exercise, last set. So really push it on that AMRAP. That's all for day 24. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet for this voiceover, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow for day 25, pull day. Keep crushing it. Have a great final week of this Kickstart, guys. Remember, please share the plan with someone if you can. If you're enjoying the program, then please spread the word about this plan to someone that you love, someone that you know or care about who wants to start their fitness journey with good guidance. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.